Let me read to you what Google has for Wednesday, Woden, Odin, Woden's story. The supreme god of the Anglo-Saxons linked to the Norse Odin. He was deified chieftain and ancestor of royal lines, with kings claiming descent from him. A multifaceted god, war, wisdom, created the runes, R-U-N-E-S, have to check that. Death and afterlife, he received the slain warriors into Valhalla, into heaven, you see. And frenzy and madness, Old English terms, well, I suspect that was a Christian religion approach. Family, his wife was Frigg, goddess of love, fertility and fate, and his children include Thor, and Balder, a Norse tradition. Often shown with ravens and wolves, brimmed hat, and sometimes one-eyed. Now, think of that for a minute, the Eye of Horus. Not particularly Freemasonry, but, you know, that's what it's all about. Going back to the great Egyptian story. How, well, you could check that out, but tremendous links there. With his brothers, he fashioned the world from the giant Ymir and created the first humans from trees. So this is the creation myth, right? Hence the tree in, Christmas trees. Come across Christmas trees. There's nothing to do with Christianity. Or you could say everything to do with it, because Christianity is not what it seems. The Wild Hunt in England, he was associated with the chaotic midwinter wild hunt. Okay, his name lives on in Wednesday. And his ancestral role legitimized Anglo-Saxon kings for centuries, even after Christianization. Yes, indeed. Wow. Wednesday then is the Father God Day, isn't it? Creation myth. And Horus. We ought to check the Eye of Horus, didn't we? Hang on. Let's see if we can do that. Okay, let me read to you then a bit more of this one. The story of the Eye of Horus is a central myth in Egyptian religion, symbolizing healing, protection, a rebirth, stemming from the battle between Horus and his wicked uncle Seth. After Seth murdered Horus's father, Osiris, Horus then fought Set to avenge him, losing his eye in the struggle. But the eye was miraculously restored by deities like Thoth or Hathor. This healed eye became a powerful amulet for the living and dead, representing wholeness, divine protection, and the triumph of good over evil, with its parts even used in mathematics or fractions. I don't know what that last bit's about. The mythical conflict, the murder of Osiris. The story begins with Set god of chaos, oh goodness, murdering his brother Osiris. Oh dear, sounds like Cain and Abel. Ruler of Egypt and usurping the throne. Horus's revenge. Horus, the son of Osiris and Isis, battled Set to reclaim his father's kingdom and avenge his death. So Horus is another type of Christ, isn't it? In what we would, well, from a Christian point of view, call pagan terms, ancient Egyptian myth. Loss of the eye. During the fierce battle, Set tore out Horus's left eye. Okay. The eye was miraculously restored. Yep, we've got that by the wisdom of Thoth. Oh, who's magically pieced it back together, making it whole again. Yeah, okay. So, the symbols and significance of this protection and healing. The restored eye, known as, became a powerful symbol of healing, health and protection against evil forces and the evil eye. Rebirth and wholeness. His restoration symbolized the process of becoming whole, making it crucial in funerary rites for the deceased rebirth in the afterlife. We're going through the Egyptian religion now, aren't we? The Eye of Horus represents cosmic order, and the triumph of order, Maat, M-A-A-T, Maat, over chaos. Mathematics. What we got here? Each part of the stylized eye are represented specific fractions. Half, quarter, eighth, 16th, 32, 1/64th. Used in Egyptian measurements with the full eye symbolizing the divine unit, one. So there you are. You now know that Wednesday is something about the Father, the One, the divine, cosmic order, the Eye of Horus, forerunner of Jesus. Restoration. Okay. Right. Thank you, Heavenly Dad. Just adding a note here. I was thinking of the Druids, a picture that came up of Odin reminded me of the Druids. Perhaps, well, we don't know much about the Druids at all. They seem to be something about oak trees, or that sounds like Father Christmas again. That sounds pretty Norse, doesn't it? The AI seems to think that it's very distinct to Norse, Scandinavian. I think possibly, yes. Perhaps what we call the Celts are just an earlier wave of Central Steppe people. I think genetically it's hard to track things because, well, these steppe people were so fierce that they tended to wipe out 90% of the Celt male, and so you got, when they invaded, the female line would continue, so to speak, but the male line was changed dramatically to Norse. There's much more mixing in ancient world than we seem to give credit for, as far as I can see. I don't see what we don't know about the Druids as being if we associate them with things like Stonehenge and that sort of thing, well, the ancient, whatever the ancient religion of Britain might have been. It looks like sun worship, the way the alignments and so on of the henge is set up. Well, that's pan-European, isn't it? I mean, pan-world, really, known world, the importance of the sun, giver of life. Ancient Egypt, Persia, or anywhere else. Well, Persia sort of transferred to the fire, I think, because of the cold winters. Fire ceremonies, which, of course, is in the Indian history as well, isn't it? Perhaps because of the influence from the northwest of India. So the Druids, we like to be specific and categorize out, but really history is such a mix from so far back with such tenuous evidence. But in this mix, the world seems to be far more international than, traded objects from goodness knows where turn up because of the Silk Route or because of invasion or because of trade. It's convenient to classify and categorize, but it's all a sort of porridge, really. To say, for instance, the English people come from, Saxon or Roman or Celtic influence or Norse influence it's a mixture of everything. Different concentrations in different places. And so impressed were we historically that, for instance, the Central Steppe people were forever warring among themselves, and, even the power of Persia couldn't really do much with it. It sort of used them as allies or part of the kingdom in a way, empire in a way. They were so useful militarily speaking. But they're forever fighting among themselves. a bit like the history of Europe, wasn't it? And, individual countries like England was, pre-1066, it was warring princes against each other. But they were much of a muchness in some ways. We've seen in Christianity similarly, haven't we? Gnosticism became anathematized, and the Gnostic church was just exterminated. It took hundreds of years, but various people rebel from particular denominations, and you got your Methodists developing from Anglicanism, and then Salvation Army breaking from that, and all the others breaking up and reforming and so on. And that's just in our own limited view of history. You could look upon it as a bad thing or as vitality, the ability of systems to adjust by splitting and fragmentation and so on. Competition with each other, really. And you could say the world has not changed much. There are parts of the world that are better to live in than others. At least that's our view. But there's parts of the world that seem, well, as difficult to live in as ever there was in the past. It's a world of good and bad that we might learn thereby, is my view. What do you think? Bless you. Thank you, Heavenly Dad. Oh, so I don't know what to call Wednesday with my, letter before the code number for the recording. I think I'll put D in for Dad. Well, it may become clearer in the next few recordings. Let's see, shall we? Thank you, Heavenly Dad. Yeah, and I think I'm going to preserve F for Friday, in fact, in the end, because of Freya, the wife. Feminine, the nature gives birth to her. We're born here by nature, the universe that God's made. In it, uses that as the cradle, the caressing, the care, the provision. Does it through nature in large measure, doesn't he? Breathes into it, yes. But the rest seems to be through don't know, I wanted to preserve. I'm not sure. Should I keep P for preparation? Or is the preparation in fact being carried out by Mother Nature? Freya? I don't know if Freya was Mother Nature, really. I don't know. Let's see how we go. Thank you, Heavenly Dad.